46 states have held primaries since March the 1st. We've covered and analyzed every single one of them with key races yesterday in Florida, New York, and Oklahoma. That officially ends one of the busiest stretches of the primary season.
And joining us now to break it all down is pollster at McLaughlin and Associates and the 2020 Trump campaign, Jim McLaughlin. Jim, great to see you. All right, I want to start in Florida, one of my favorite states. So Ron DeSantis knows who he's up against. He's going up against Charlie Crist, who he was a Democrat, or he was a Republican. Then he became a Democrat. I want you to listen to his speech from last night.
Tonight, the people of Florida clearly sent a message. They want a governor who cares about them, to solve real problems, who preserves our freedom, not a bully who divides us and takes our freedom away. I am so proud to have earned the support for the Democratic nomination to be the next governor of the state of Florida.
All right, Jim, what do you think about this?
You know, it's interesting because how does he attack Ron DeSantis?
Right.
He makes these personal, negative, dishonest attacks against him instead of trying to bring people together. Why? Because Charlie Crist doesn't want to run against Ron DeSantis on issues. Because when you compare the two records of Governor Ron DeSantis versus Charlie Crist, Ron DeSantis is going to come back on top every single time. When he was governor, Charlie Crist, it's been probably the most failed governorship in history, and it wasn't that long ago. What happened when Charlie Crist was governor? They had deficits, which they normally don't have deficits. By law, they have to have a balanced budget. He raised taxes, he increased spending, and oh, by the way, he cut aid to education. And those are all things and issues where Ron DeSantis has great accomplishments on those issues, not to mention Ron DeSantis has been leading the country in job creation. And when Charlie Crist was governor of Florida, Florida lost jobs.
And Ron DeSantis got COVID right. That's all he's got to run on. He got COVID right. Can you describe to us what the voting population in Florida looks like now? I think there's this notion that Florida is still sort of sleepy. It's still very much purple. What's happening in Florida is the greatest generation, some of the older voters aren't there anymore. It's younger voters that make up a lot of the electorate down there. And Ron DeSantis is massively popular. He could get 70% of the vote in Florida.
Yeah, look, I will tell you, I'll be the first one. We do a lot of work down there. We work for their great attorney general, Ashley Moody, down there. Look, it's still basically the two parties are tied. Yes, the Republicans have a few 100,000 more Republicans than there are Democrats. But demographically and vote behavior, before the last presidential election, the last 7 elections there, competitive statewide elections, were decided by about 1 point or less. But the great story that's going on in Florida, quite honestly, is the successes of the Republicans down there. And to your point, Rob, they have made great inroads among Hispanic voters, among young people. And trust me, all these new residents that are coming down there, they're coming down there to get away from these failed Democratic policies in the blue states. So yes, on paper, it's still a very close place, but the Republicans run on their record and they run on their successes. Notice last night that you didn't have Charlie Crist really talking about issues. It was, again, it was about personal attacks against Ron DeSantis.
That's all he's got.
I'm interested to see the ad campaigns coming out. All right, Jim McLaughlin, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Jim.
Great to see you.